All right, so it's the end of the year for the president, his first year in the Oval Office.
Okay, Laura Fink, Wendy Patrick are here to break down some of the biggest political moments of 2017. Ladies, I don't even know where to start. There's like so much to talk about. Where do we? Okay, let's start. I know where we can start. Let's start with the travel ban. We spent a lot of time talking about it this year. Where do we stand on this? Wendy, I'm going to start with you.
Well, Shawley, after we went through version 1.0, 2.0, 3.0, we finally have a version that was acceptable to the courts. And that is one of the unspoken Trump administration victories. And most of the time we focus on what it originally looked like, which was overbroad, which was unfair, arguably, and now we actually have something that everybody can live with. But obviously there's still going to be legal challenges. But we really moved from that, which was seen as very divisive, to what the president was tweeting yesterday and even today, that he wants to work with Democrats in 2018. So the eternal optimist I am, I know that's what Laura would say, is optimistically it would look like we have moved from a spirit of divisiveness, hopefully, to a spirit and really looking at reconciliation in 2018.
Well, I mean, to one person it's a travel ban, to another it's a Muslim ban, but to court after court after court they ruled it to be a Muslim ban and to be unconstitutional. Right now we're in a little bit of limbo because we know that there's been a stay, so they're able to implement it because of executive power, but the final decision on that Muslim ban has yet to be heard. But if the Supreme Court follows all of the lower courts and their previous decisions, we may see that struck down in the new year.
Okay, it's interesting here because President Trump at the time kind of took on federal judges who didn't agree with it, right. And Neil Gorsuch, of course, was his earliest victory. Let's shift gears, though. Let's start with the Russian investigation into possible meddling into the November 16 election against Hillary Clinton. So you have James Comey, the fired FBI director. You have Michael Flynn, all the drama surrounding this. And lately, it seems like President Trump has backed away from Flynn. Any thoughts here? Let's start with Laura here on this one.
Well, I think we have to give credence and respect to James Comey, to Robert Mueller, to Sally Yates, to all of the people that are working to uphold the Justice Department and that side of our democracy, because it really is the foundation upon which everything else is built. And that is about holding people accountable and making sure that those that did participate, if there was participation with the Russians, are held to account. And that means all the way up the chain to the president, if that is in fact what Bob Mueller finds through his investigation. I think it's heartening to look at that independent investigation continuing to proceed and continuing to make progress, because that's something that every American should want.
Wendy?
Here again, Chris and Shawley, I will tie this into it again, something the president said 2 days ago to a New York Times reporter. He believes that Robert Mueller is fair. How do you like that? After almost an entire year of many Republicans, sometimes the president, attacking the integrity of the investigation, we have circled fully back to the president in saying he believes that that investigation is going to be fair. But he 16 times in that interview said there was no collusion. But the bottom line is he believes Robert Mueller is fair. So
isn't there a parallel, though, with what he said in 2016 in the march up to the election about James Comey? He liked what he was doing in the Hillary Clinton investigation, didn't like it, then liked it again,
Here's
and then
the
ended up
difference,
firing
Chris. I love that point. Here's the difference. He liked it when it was going his way and appeared at the time to be in support of his campaign. He said that Mueller is fair today, even when you've already got his ex-campaign manager indicted, you've got Flynn having pled guilty, you've got Papadopoulos pleading guilty. So he says that today, even though there is more negative press than positive press. So one wonders whether he's starting making New Year's resolutions early. Again,
or maybe
that'd be nice.
Or maybe, Wendy, it's a setup, because he says that he accepts his judgment and that he feels he's being treated fairly now, but it's really just used as a context to frame when he changes his mind, when the investigation gets closer to him, and all of a sudden he finds Robert Mueller objectionable. Because what he also said in that interview was that he had the power to stop and start anything that the Justice Department does.
But
so asserting
also,
that power sets him up to pull Robert Mueller away when he's getting close to that smoking gun.
That's also why I thought it was interesting, is there's that interesting juxtaposition of points he made in that interview. I've got the power to do it, but I haven't done it. I'm not going to do it. One of the things he didn't say is that he trusted Mueller's judgment, but you can infer that from the fact that he said that Mueller was fair. So it was a very interesting, wide-reading interview, actually done on the fly, according to the reporter, approaching him while he was having a salad, and got all this information that I believe we'll probably be talking about well into 2018.
Okay, yes, we will continue to talk about this through, I'm sure, the next few years. This is our last clock, ladies, of 2017. We're going to put 30 seconds. I don't know what you're going to talk about, so much to choose from. from. Laura, we're going to start with you. Here we go.
Well, we ended the year with patriotic protests, from the Women's March to the protests against the Muslim ban, to those standing up against white supremacy, to handicapped and disabled individuals protesting the president and Congress taking away Medicare. This was an era where we saw Americans pushing back and resisting. And I think we've seen success with that, so that the American people's voices are heard and that the politicians are held to account. I think we can expect more of that in 2018. Continue to resist.
Wendy?
Right on the nose. All right, Wendy.
One of the things that has characterized 2017 is a forward-looking mentality for so many of us, and it's really a season of celebration, including my dear friend Laura's birthday celebration yesterday. Happy birthday, my friend. But one of the other things that we do looking forward to 2018 is we get into resolutions, and that's one of the things the president has said lately is let's resolve to work together. Democrat, Republican, different demographics. Let's work together to solve the kitchen table test issues, jobs, the economy, healthcare, national security. And I hope we can continue to do that as a team in 2018.
I think if you'll admit the happy birthday wish to Laura, you were right at 30 seconds as
I
well,
think
Wendy.
so.
You know what's
Took me a
interesting?
couple seconds to say.
Well, I appreciate that.
The one issue, and I know we're done, the one issue perhaps affecting us the most, taxes. It just passed, the new tax code, the new tax law, and no mention of it. Interesting. Interesting at that.
I think
We'll
we
see how
talked
that
about it
affects us
last
in
week,
18.
didn't we?
Oh, we'll be getting into that later.
Right? Ladies, thank you so
All
much,
right,
and Happy New Year
ladies.
to you
Happy
both.
Thanks, Chris.
New Year.
Thanks, Charlie.
Happy New Year.
Year.
Thanks,
Happy
Chris. Thanks,
birthday.
Charlie.
All right, cameras are catching thieves red-handed.